So this semester, our team added a bunch of interesting new features to iTrust, mostly related to obstetrics care. We followed the model view controller pattern using Tomcat servers and MySQL databases. So as you can see here, we have our controllers in the controller file under OBGYN package, and the same thing for model, anything that interacts with the database and plain old Java objects. And we have our use case test data in the SQL files, as well as the web pages under the OBGYN authorization. So if we log in as a OBGYN authorized HCP, Catherine Evans, we can go over to the obstetrics info panel, which we added, and select obstetrics care to add a obstetrics initialization as well as prior pregnancies. So this information is the data that's already been initialized in the system. We can create a new initialization and then have the system automatically calculate the expected delivery date as well as how long they've been pregnant for. And we can see that that has been added into the system here already. So if the patient is eligible, you can edit this data, but if they're not eligible, then the button disappears, or if the HCP isn't an OBGYN, that won't work either. So we can also do the same thing with prior pregnancies, add some test data such as days pregnant, hours in labor. We'll just add all of these, and then if there's multiple pregnancies and the delivery type create a new prior pregnancy, we can see that it's updated and that it's saved in the table down here. So once a patient has been initialized, you can create an OBGYN office visit. As you can see here, we have a couple of examples of that. And so we can go and select these or create a new office visit. And this uses the existing office visit system within iTrust. So it's very similar to all of those. It just adds a new OBGYN category and a new OBGYN tab. So once we create the initialization for the office visit, we can go into edit the actual obstetrics visit information, such as the weight, the blood pressure, fetal heart rate, and whether or not there were multiple low-lying placenta and RH flags. So once we save this, it will ask us if we automatically want to schedule the next appointment based on how long they've been pregnant. So this is suggesting 1 month when the patient has been pregnant for 1 week. It might suggest 2 weeks if the patient was pregnant for longer. And then we can come in and select the ultrasound additions, so you can add ultrasound information to this office visit, as well as a ultrasound image, so that it saves it in the system. So the previous image that you saw was a placeholder image, but this one is the actual image. So we save the ultrasound form, update it, and then we can go back and we can see that that's here, and we can go back and view, edit it, and delete it. We can go over to document a childbirth visit in the case that they are giving birth to a child, and document the information related to that. So this is one that has already been created, so we're going through and editing it. We can change the delivery type, whether or not it's pre-scheduled, the types of drugs that were added. We can see the past initializations, and if there were multiple fetuses, then we can add those as well. So this one already gave birth to 2. We can delete them or add them, or create a new baby here. Add the time of birth, whether or not it's estimated time, and the gender, save the baby, and then add it as a patient if we want to. So we can go in here and use the existing iTrust add patient functionality to create the new patient here and add that patient, and then that's updated in the system, so we can see the MID there and the temporary password. Additionally, we've created a labor and delivery report. I've generated some test data for patient 85 that demonstrates this. It shows the prior pregnancies, whether or not they're eligible for obstetrics care, the estimated due date of their most recent pregnancy, their blood type in case they needed a transfusion, all of their previous obstetrics office visit information, such as blood pressure, and if the blood pressure happens to be too high, it will show in the complications column. There's complications, and to see the list below, so this is the list below, and it shows that this visit happens to have the RH flag set. It also says in the complication warning flags whether or not they have pre-existing conditions or allergies. So down here it lists the relevant conditions and allergies. And relevant conditions are generated by ICD code and ND code. So if a patient happens to have a ICD code condition that is not pregnancy related, it won't show up in the table here, but things like hyperthyroidism or syphilis are pregnancy related, so they are shown. So that's all the functionality related to our team's project. We did decide to refactor the system to reduce duplicate code and reduce the amount of database exceptions thrown when the system is run. And additionally, we kept the number of connections to the system down to a minimum so that it wouldn't throw errors once the connection limit was reached. Thank you.